One question that I haven't heard at all about Pikmin 4 is what versus modes we could be getting. And today I am joined by the wonderful Heff to speculate a little bit of what versus modes could be coming or what versus modes could return. I don't know what the chances of you knowing like a Pikmin fan in real life are. They're not very big. So like, I've played it with people, but they've never been very good. So like, it's kind of hard to have like the full experience, obviously. But you know, I have played them.
Yeah, and I think that, maybe that's one of the things that I would want to absolutely see in Pikmin 4 is, there is a real sentiment of Pikmin fans, we're out there, but we're not as common as something like Smash players or, people who play Mario Kart or something like that. So you're hardly ever going to get Pikmin fans in a room together to play multiplayer. So what I'd like to see in Pikmin 4 is online compatibility, and I think it's ridiculous that Pikmin 3 Deluxe did not have that.
Absolutely, I agree so much with that. Like, I can't believe it, and I guess it makes sense because, like, when you know the person, like personally, it's more connective or whatever. But just being able to do it online would help so much.
The world is so much smaller now. Like everybody's so much more connected. Like if I want to be able to play Pikmin 3 Bingo Battle with you over in Britain, right? Like I should be able to do that.
Definitely. If they don't have like any online to Pikmin 4, I'd be so sad.
What do you feel about 4 players?
Four players.
Some kind of versus mode.
That is something I was going to touch on actually, because obviously Pikmin 4, it's like Splatoon 3. They make stuff about the number 3. So like Pikmin 4 players, I can see that being a possibility. Whether in co-op or I don't know about like co-op story mode, because obviously I don't know if we'll have 4 captains, but in versus mode I can see that being a thing. Like have it more like a party game kind of mode.
Yeah, I mean there's obviously plenty of games have split screen 4 players able to be doing their own thing all at once. I mean mostly I think of like like a Call of Duty or like a Mario Kart or even Mario Party. Like Smash is all on one screen, but I don't see any reason where 4 players wouldn't be able to, play simultaneously.
Absolutely, and I think it could make for either similar to because I know Bingo Battle has, you can have 2 captains for each person, but obviously that's not 4 players. It's just each person has 2 captains, but it could make for that to be 4 players, so it's 2v2, or like some new game modes, something like I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but
yeah.
With 4 players.
Are you a Mario Party fan? Like, have you played some Mario Party in your day?
The only one I've played is Mario Party 9, and I know that one's like kind of controversial, but I think it's really great.
Okay, yeah, that's one of the bad ones.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But in Mario Party, there's the 4-player mini games, the 2v2 mini games, and then there's 1v3 mini games. Now, a 1v3 bingo battle. That way you could play with your scrub friends, and I think that would be a lot of fun.
I can see that. Yeah, it's like seeming that there's only like one good Pikmin fan like out of like thousands of people. Like the one good person could go against like everyone else. That'd be so great. That's a really good idea.
How do you think it would work with like the number of Pikmin? Because obviously 100 is the tentative limit, right? But if there's 4 players, is it split to 25?
You really would get bullied if everyone else had like 75 and you had 25. I think that'd be really fun though, unless they increase the limit, like some Pikmin mods do. But I don't think that will happen because it's kind of the formula of Pikmin to have only 100.
Yeah, it's funny too because then I think about obviously Pikmin 4 is coming to the Switch, so it could be a performance issue type deal where let's say 4 teams of 25 Pikmin each, might be too much for the game to handle. Probably not, but
possibly.
You never know.
I do see that because the game is obviously going to be an upgrade from what else we've seen, or at least I hope so. What about 2-player battle? Do you think 2-player battle could be seen returning at all?
So I think that 2-player battle is not really good.
Yeah.
I think that that's something that Oh yeah, when it was like Pikmin 1 and 2, like two-player battle was great, but I really think that Bingo Battle kind of blew two-player battle just out of the water. I think two-player battle kind of set up a lot of really good ideas, but never really like executed. Whereas
Yeah.
they really had the time to like, when they made Pikmin 3, go in and say, okay, how are we gonna make this actually functional?
Of course, yeah. I think the idea of Bingo Battle is like
I think they
really
did.
clever. But the one thing I do like about two-player battle is the cherries. The cherries, I'd say, are probably better than the Pikmin 3 ones, like the abilities you can get. But yeah, the rocks.
Those are in a Pikmin 3's Bingo Battle too, right?
Yeah, they seem a lot more scarier in Pikmin 3 as well. They're like massive compared to the Pikmin 2 rocks. But the enemies in the Pikmin 2 cherries, that you can like spawn enemies at your opponent's base. I want that to come back, 'cause that's really fun.
Oh yeah, like the Withering Blowhogs.
Yeah.
You can spawn a Volatile Dweevil too, can't you?
And that, yeah, which could really like just destroy you most of the time, which is really fun.
That would mean that they have to bring Dweevils back in Pikmin 4, and that's a whole
True.
other can of worms.
I can imagine fiery blowhogs could come back, so maybe spawning those at bases would make sense. But yeah, it like accounts for obviously what enemies will actually be in the game, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that made, I guess, Pikmin 3 different than two-player battle was the fact that each player had the ability to control more than one type of Pikmin, and those Pikmin retained their qualities, from the initial two-player battle. So like reds do increase damage, are resistant to fire. Yellows obviously exist now in two-player and are tossed higher in electricity and all of that. So, hazard-specific enemies being sicked on players, it's not like fire and water anymore. You have to get a little bit more, I guess, like creative when it comes to, hey, what could be a reward from this cherry?
Yeah, I get that, yeah. I really do like that about Pikmin 3, where obviously there's more than just the two types.
Because in, I don't know if you know, but in Pikmin 2, their damages, they're equal. So, like, they nerf the reds down to regular blue Pikmin damage in two-player battle.
Yeah, I never knew that, but I just, I imagine so, because otherwise...
You just kind of figured, because, otherwise whoever picks Olimar is
they would have an
better for
advantage.
themselves.
Yeah, because water wasn't really a hazard in Pikmin 2's thing, at all, I don't think.
I don't think there was any, were there any hazards? I know there was electricity, at least. I think there was only bomb rocks and electricity.
Yeah.
I can't picture, a fire geyser or, really any, pools of water.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that was obviously, intentional because of the two types.
What I'd like to see also is potentially, and I think Bingo Battle did a good job of it with some of their later maps, but, a lot of the early maps in Bingo Battle are pretty small. It's pretty easy to just be like, oh, look, my board came up like this, and I won. It's been
true.
2 minutes, and I got the apple strawberry president face, and small bulborb, and that's it. GG.
Yeah, I do really like some of the maps, but it would be nice. I can't wait to see new ones, obviously, and maybe returning ones. I can't see them bringing returning maps, but if that did happen, I guess that would be cool. There are some good ones. So there's ones that are the ones that are based off, it might actually only be one, but it's the one that's kind of based, actually no, there is a few, they're based off of some of the Pikmin 2 caves, but in the Pikmin 3 style, which I think is just so awesome, because I really love the caves.
Oh, the rusted, I see.
Yeah. Maybe not too much of a reference, but I see it.
Yeah, no, but
I see it.
they do look like it though.
Yeah.
Obviously it's updated to be, for at least 2013.
It's been 10 years since Pikmin 3 came out, which is off topic, but that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
It's crazy.
I remember, it was the most anticipated game for me back in 2013.
Yeah.
When I was 15 years old, and now that I'm 25, Pikmin 4 is the most anticipated game. Although Tears of the Kingdom is probably giving it a run for its money.
Oh. Do you think they could possibly completely drop versus mode for the more kind of cooperative element of Pikmin? So just story mode as co-op and no versus mode?
I don't know. I think I have trouble seeing them do that. certain game franchises, like let's say Pokemon, will cut corners and they will get rid of features that players like and utilize.
Yeah.
But Pikmin, being that there's only 3 games and 2 of them have had versus modes, and I think that a lot of time at least has gone into kind of balancing for both of them. I feel like there definitely will still be a versus mode. I'd be surprised if they took it out.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. I can't imagine them getting rid of it, but it's just a evil thought in like the back of my head. It's like, oh, it could be a possibility.
I know, you hate to think that, like, again, it's too early for speculation, but you hate to think that the game will, like, not be good. You know?
There's always a chance, and that, like, terrifies me. I've been waiting for so long, and we all have. And if it's bad, it's gonna hurt.
It almost seems impossible, though, because it's been 10 years. So you imagine that everything's kind of been ironed out.
Yeah, you really would hope so. And if not, then, oh, it's gonna kill me. I think we should be in the safe, though. I think there's hopefully a lot of care that's been put into it.
I think Miyamoto loves Pikmin too much for it to be a bad game. So.
Oh, of course, yeah. Of course, he has a very strong connection to like the franchise, doesn't he? So yeah.
Yeah, he's the only he doesn't come back for anything else. But as soon as like Pikmin gets mentioned, all of a sudden, there
boom, he's there.
Shigeru Miyamoto, right there. He has to be the one, announcing it and talking about it. I think it's. And because it's kind of like near and dear to, I guess, Nintendo's roots, I really think that there's a lot of like love and care that will go into it. So
yeah,
I'm really not worried. I think it's going to be a fantastic game, and I hope that a lot of the versus mode things that we've kind of talked about either make it in there or maybe even something better.
Who knows? As long as it's online, I'm happy.
Yeah, I kind of had a small idea. It might not even be like hey, I'd prefer this over bingo battle, but
yeah,
it could be like a versus mode where players are both on, let's say, a regular campaign map, like let's just say the Garden of Hope.
Yeah.
And they have to try to grow as many Pikmin as possible for their own onion within a set amount of time, like Pikmin 1's challenge mode.
Oh, I like the sound of that, yeah.
So they're like fighting over resources and like pellet posies and certain enemy corpses and like that sort of thing, in order to see, hey, at the end of the day, whoever has the most Pikmin on the field and in the onion together wins.
I get you. Okay, that's smart. Yeah, so like obviously they could make up to 100 Pikmin quite fast, so then throughout the rest of the game you have to focus on trying to spawn enemies on them to kill their Pikmin, or like killing their Pikmin yourself.
Exactly. And I kind of thought of it as a like enemies would respawn in a way, like, I don't want to say like a boss rush or something, but like, let's say you take down a fiery blowhog in one section of the map, all of a sudden, maybe 2 minutes down the line, like a Bulborb just happens to appear there. So that way we're not running out of resources and not strictly focused on like hurting the other player.
I like the idea of that, yeah. And if the Plasm Wraith has, or like whatever the Wraith will be, because I imagine there'll be one, if it has some significance in the story, I could imagine that like being the like lore reason or something, like why the enemies respawn.
Exactly, kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like how the enemies were made out of like the Plasm Wraith's goo.
Yeah.
Like I could see them being formed out of the goo, and then their corpses stay, and then
yeah. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
I had 10 years to think about it, So.
True. Take notes, Nintendo. We want that.
Did you want to talk about like collect treasure or anything like that?
I wonder if there's a way they could change it in co-op. You know what I mean? Like, I guess something as simple as whoever collects obviously there's the 2 players and you're trying to get a platinum medal, but whoever gets the most.
Yeah. It's like whoever does the best, whoever collects the most things.
Yeah, and then there'll be like a leaderboard at the end, obviously, like which player got more stuff, similar to 3D World.
Yeah, like instead of Like instead of, Pikmin amounts, it's literally like certain things are worth certain amounts of Pokos.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I like that.
So it's like, yeah, what player got most Pokos or something?
I think I'd like to see as well, like kind of going back to Bingo Battle, the 4v or the 4x4 square is nice, but like you should be able to have like a 5x5.
Go bigger.
The games
Yeah.
could last a little bit longer.
I would love that, like super big. Like you could set like the scale or whatever, so like you could have it really small or like absurdly large, so like you'd have a game that would like go on for ages. You just gotta collect loads of things. That could be really fun.
Or have you ever seen like any of like Smallant's content?
Yes, I used to watch them quite a lot.
Yeah, so you know how maybe you haven't seen it, but they do like, it's called a lockout. So they have, like let's say that bingo board, let's say it's 5v5 and there's different tasks.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
So like, one player could then fill in certain spaces, like kind of how it is in Bingo Battle. Like, oh, I collected the spotty bull bear. Now, the other player can't collect it, but the players could share the same board, and whoever fills the most of that singular board, would win.
That is a great idea, and it would also like shake things up from just obviously collecting stuff. Obviously, it would be tasks. So like, you have to blow up a certain gate or something. Just stuff like that would really like be interesting, especially if it's like randomly generated.
Because I think one of the main criticisms of Bingo Battle is that people can have easy boards, and then their opponent could have a tough board.
Yeah.
Just based on how it randomly generates. So sharing, the same board kind of eliminates that unbalance, if you will.
What would be the perfect result for your like dream Pikmin 4?
I think my perfect Pikmin 4 obviously includes versus mode. Not two-player battle. I think that either an updated, maybe better Bingo Battle, although it's already basically perfect, or some kind of new side mode where players are able to be pit against each other, whether it be to earn the most Pokos, grow the most Pikmin, or complete the most tasks. And then honestly, my perfect Pikmin 4, I'd also like to see it have 4 players. I'd like each player to have 50 Pikmin, 100 maybe each.
Oh.
Who knows? What can the Switch handle? I don't know, but that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, that's a good conclusion. And also online. Can't forget online.
and online.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I have to be able to play with all my buddies across the world.
We have waited too long for online in any Pikmin game. Pikmin 4, I can see it happening for Pikmin 4. I hope they realize.
Yeah, otherwise, 15 years down the line, some mod maker's gonna do it.
Definitely, yeah.
it'll be emulated and we'll be able to play online. I'm still waiting. One of you Pikmin 3 modders watching this video, I'm still waiting for online Bingo Battle. That's a formal request.
Please, me and Heff both want it.
Yeah, I would host like a Bingo Battle tournament. I swear, I would find, if there was online Bingo Battle, I would host like a 64-person bracket. Like I would go crazy on that.
Full on tournament with just so many people. That would be so great. We need that. We need that with no mods. So saves the modders a job, please, Nintendo.
Yeah, no, exactly that, but with no mods. So Nintendo, you have to do it yourself.
Give the modders a break. They've been working for 10 years. So yeah, that's what we have to say about Pikmin versus mode for Pikmin 4. Thanks to Heff for joining the video. Check him out. And yeah, goodbye.
Thank you very much for having me.
Quick outro to fully finish the video off. Massive thank you to Heff for joining this video. I never thought it would happen, but we have now officially collabed with Heff. So a massive thank you for him. He made this video so much more entertaining than it would have been without him. So make sure you are subscribed to him. His link will be in the description. And everyone who was mentioned in this video, all their channels will be linked in the description. And also thank you to my 2 Patreons, Gunnadahun and TenTickles. You guys are amazing. Thank you everyone for watching, and make sure you subscribe if you want to see more collabs.